Okay, I think we can start. Thank you for joining this webinar in English today. The main topic is our application for, which call it TERNODES, our IVR call distribution and statistics solution, which has been announced the last 6 months. So we're going to detail the changes. TERNODES includes several modules as an audio server, which can play G711, G729 RTP flow. It's possible to create scripts, to navigate in scripts. It's possible to create schedules, to distribute call to agents, different way we will see, and to integrate with Attended Console and other Pisca application. It also provides statistics and dashboard. So to build script, you can use these different items: audio message with branching by DTMF code, different type of call distribution, filter route call, and a way to send an email. So the script is displayed as a grid. You can add item edit, change the order. By the way, you can change the order now. You see in the grid the entry port. So the application creates automatically a CTI port, which needs to be linked to a translation pattern for the DID numbers. You can see the agent number on which it will be distributed, the different type of items, and the different branching conditions. So TERNODES is easy to configure compared to other more complex IVR solution. If you want to define a new message, there are two solutions. Either you use text-to-speech, so we use Microsoft text-to-speech. You can create audio message in different languages, which can be merged up to 4 languages. Can be merged together, or you can upload any audio file in format, which will be converted in the correct format. You can include now a silence at the beginning and also silence at the end, which is a good idea if the message loops several times. It's possible to create audio files libraries with that can be used several times in scripts, and you can concatenate several different audio files in one. For example, to build to have a welcome message and to add a specific message afterward, or to add a temporary message, unexpected event message like lockdown, for example. To distribute call, there is a free way. While the calling party hear an audio message, we use a pool of CTI port to call a destination, either one number or it can be a unpilot, a CUCM unpilot. In this case, it can be you can, for example, ring on several phones at the same time. Or we can distribute the call in TERNODES. So we support distribution by priority, circular, the longest idle, and now we also support broadcast mode. So that means the call rings on several phones at the same time. It is possible also to pick up the call from Attended Console, or as we have also now Agent Desktop. So in this case, the phone does not ring, which is convenient for switchboard, which receive a large number of calls. And in this case, the call is displayed on the Attended Console, for example, and the user can pick the call and to enqueue the call. And in this case, it will ring on the phone. Of course, when the call is displayed, the application pop up, and there is generally a sound, but which is played by the PC. It's also possible to play the sound on the phone. It's not ringing, it's just a sound pushed one time, and it's possible to push it periodically, this sound on the PC or on the phone, when, for example, the agent is available but not answering. It is interesting also to use this mode to be able to select which call you want to answer first, because you may have configured a reverse lookup at on console. Now you can display up to 24 fields, so it's possible to decide what call needs to be answered in priority. You can define the branching in the script because the calling party has pressed DTMF code, or when on schedule closed, or when no agent is logged in anymore. It's possible to redirect call when the destination is busy. This may happen only when in the first mode, when we ring the destination. Otherwise, yes, if we distribute the call, we are not going to distribute it on the phone which is busy. It's possible to estimate the waiting time based on statistics. This works well if you have enough calls, maybe several agents. And then if the estimated waiting time is more than a defined trigger, you can directly redirect the call to another group or to a specific audio message. It's possible also to redirect on the maximum waiting time, like a kind of no answer, or on call abandoned, which is maybe useful if you want to send a notification to a supervisor. It's possible to route the call on whitelist or blacklist. Whitelist to give a higher priority to some users by calling number. Blacklist to block some calling numbers. It's possible also to redirect based on the country code of the directory number, the prefix of the directory number. For example, to have a different announcement in different languages. So yeah, it's possible to send an email on abandoned or customer choice. This email is pre-formatted, so the subject and the body may include the calling time, the calling number, the calling name, and the initial call number. You can define the schedules. Each schedule can have 2 ranges per day and different ranges depending on the day of the week. And now it is also possible to define special schedules for special days. These special days are generally the day before public holidays or bank holidays. So you can define these specific schedules in advance for 1 year or more. And it's possible to define also several years before public holidays, so we provide a way to generate them for some countries automatically. This can be used also for unexpected events, and customers who have locked down and closed their switchboard have used this feature to include a list of days which was supposed to be closed. The schedules takes into account the time zone of the entity, so you see you can define different entities. So there is a different client application, either attendant console, from which you can pick up the call. We have seen that, but also it's possible to log in, log out from all the queues or a queue one by one. And if the agent is allowed, it can also open or close the queues. Now we also provide Agent Desktop, which is actually a small part of Attendant Console, the upper part. So it provides the same feature to log in, log out, open, close. It provides call control and statistics, but not reverse lookup with searching in directory, not directory search or frequent numbers. It's possible also to use an IP phone application, IP phone service, to allow the agent to log in, log out, open, close the queue from the IP phone. It's also possible to use TNOTs without any application, TLSK application. In this case, you may define that the queue is by default open and depending on schedule, of course, and that the agent is logged in by default. But it's possible to allow the agent to log out by setting the phone as do not disturb, DND, that's a new feature, or by forwarding the agent's line. So that may be a way to log in, log out just by using the soft key of the phone to set do not disturb, which may be used for other features. These two features are optional. It's possible to disable them. For example, during the lockdown, some customers have forwarded the line. In this case, they still wanted to receive calls on the destination. So we have to, in this case, we have to disable this feature. It's possible also to close a queue when no agent is logged anymore. We provide a new screen to display a global view of the status of the queues. So to see if they are open or closed, with a reminder of the entry point, the schedules, and the number of agents logged in. So the queue may be closed by schedule, or maybe closed forced because there is no agent logged in anymore, or because somebody has forced the status from this screen or from the agent, of the agent side, agent console. Well, if you force a status and you want to use the schedule again, you have to reset it, to click on the reset button. It's possible to define entities. So entities is interesting if you have several sites or several scripts used by different organizations. So it's minimize the size of each script, and you can also have a specific audio file, specific schedules for each entities. It's also useful if you want to separate the statistics at the dashboard, and you can assign a manager, a supervisor to an entity. Now it's possible to assign several entities per manager or supervisor. And for each entity, you can define a different time zone, which is useful. We have seen that for the schedules, but also for the statistics. The difference between manager and supervisor is just different level of authorization. So you can define exactly what a supervisor can do and what a manager can do according to the dashboard, the statistics, definition of the agent for attendant console, schedules, audio file, and eventually modifying the script with 2 levels of access. If you have a complex script and you want to divide it in subscript, or if you want to use the same script for different entities related to, for example, to different sites, you may find it useful to use the script templates. So it's a new feature. Now you can define a script template. Actually, a script template is a script, except that some of the parameters are variables. For example, the entry port, the CTI port, will be different. When you will assign the script to different entities, then it will be defined at the time. So you can have different numbers for different scripts. Also, the destination, the agents that will be run by the script will be different. And you may have also different audio files, different schedules, for example. So you define a template, and then you assign it to the entity. And when assigning it, you will define the variable, the values attached to the variables. The statistics are also been improved. So here you have the script which allows to select the different statistics. You can also define profiles. The profile is used to select several cues and to avoid seeing all the cues. This is useful if you want to see partial script on some of the cues, for example. Or it's also interesting because it's not a good idea to mix the statistics of the entire script and of part of the script. I explain. If you select to see statistics on the entry point, you will see what's happening to the call during all the script. If you select a statistic at a sub level, for example, for one queue, but before the queue there is, for example, another queue or a selection by the TMF, then you will see the same call again. So if you mix the same statistics on the entry point and of specific queues, you will count the calls 2 times. So that's why it's maybe interesting to separate this kind of statistics. It's also possible now to create profiles for several entities. This is interesting to concatenate different statistics and to have a global view of your contact center, for example. So here are queues statistics. So in the rows, you have the different queues or script items, and you see different colors with different information. And you can, by the way, now you can also have the feature, the count, the total duration of the call for the agent, which was available before. You can display different graphics for these queue statistics. And now there is a feature which allows to drill down, which means if you click, for example, here on the red bar, which are the abandoned calls, then you will see the list of calls which were abandoned. You may know why there was abandoned, at what time, which calling number. This example is always the same calling number. It's a set actually. But it may be interesting to see also the calling number. You can also view statistics per period. For example, here it's grouped by hour, but it can be grouped by day of the week, by day of the month, by week, and by month. And you will have also different graphics, either by hour, for example, or global statistics. You have agent statistics, which are for the calls which have been answered only. And it's maybe interesting to compare how many calls have been answered by agent or the average call duration by agent. And you have also the call detail, which is a very detailed view. So in this case, you can see each call separately, and you can see a call several times if its statistics is provided for different parts of the script. In this case, you can order them by call ID to see to group the calls. It is now possible also to see day by day the status of each queue, to see when it was open and when it was closed. And when it was closed, you will know why, because of the schedules, because there was no agent connected, or because somebody has forced the queue to be closed. The same thing for the agent. You can know when he was logged in, and you know why it is not logged in. Either it is not connected, for example, not on console is offline, or it has set the do not disturb status. We also provide a dashboard which mixes real-time data like the number of calls waiting in queue, number of agent login, longest waiting time, number of agents available, and statistics of the day or of the last 15 minutes, for example. You can create also trigger which will change the color of the display if its value is above this or below this trigger. For example, here, sorry about that, the labels are in French. But here in the top left, you see 16%, 76% of call answered, and as it is considered as not very good, the color is orange, and maybe if it is less than 70%, the color will become red. So you can define how many cells you want, and the model you have defined can be associated with one or several cues, so you can have a global and concatenated view of different cues. So it's possible also to display this information on the screen, which is connected to a PC, and on the PC we install a script which starts automatically, and call a browser which displays with specific URL, which displays automatically this script. Okay, I think I finished this presentation. I will be happy to answer any question you may have. So do not hesitate. And do not forget to press the unmute button before speaking.